Good day, here we are with the latest video update for Muifa and Merbok. It is the 7th of August, 9:05 p.m. Philippine time, 6 p.m. Japan time. We have Muifa now downgraded to a tropical storm as it moves northward, located approximately 250 kilometers west-northwest of Jeju Island or about 430 kilometers southwest of Seoul. Maximum sustained winds have decreased to 110 kph, gusting to 155. Muifa is now moving northward at 25 kilometers per hour. See in this visible image, you still have this huge circulation. You can still see the center here. No more eye, but you can still see this organization maintaining a decent core, actually. So keeping it as a strong tropical storm from the agencies. You can also see here convection from the storm, mainly confined to the west. To the east, and you can also see that translates well to the radar image from KMA showing the widespread light to moderate rain now making their way towards the southern part of the peninsula, particularly here in Jeollanam province, including the city of Mokpo. Perhaps you can see here also bands of heavy rain, actually, with rates of around 20 to 40 and sometimes 50 millimeters per hour. As Muifa moves north, that will continue to overspread probably much of the peninsula, including North Korea, by later tonight and into tomorrow as it moves northward there. And also that will include Seoul. So you'll know recent heavy rain there in South Korea caused massive landslides there. So not too much of a good news as Muifa brushes the western part of the peninsula. And also just want to remind you also about the tropical storm force winds. We still have stations reporting of around up to 100 kilometers per hour gust. So still some pretty strong winds from Muifa and also some strong waves, but particularly here in the western coastal sections, also here in Shandong Peninsula in northeastern China. Taking a look now at the radar image, this time from China Meteorological Administration, you can see those bands and those outer and inner bands from Muifa moving their way now into Shandong Peninsula, affecting Qingdao and also Yantai, both here in the peninsula. In terms of rainfall here in eastern China, Shanghai and the other areas reporting mainly 50 to 100 millimeters of rain, so not particularly heavy, and doesn't compare to that much compared to what Okinawa experienced about 2 days ago with Muifa there. As for the forecast, we have Muifa moving generally to the north and perhaps brushing the eastern section of Shandong Peninsula by early Monday morning, probably passing around 250 kilometers east of Qingdao city and perhaps around 130 kilometers east of Yantai by Monday morning tomorrow. And as it moves northward, beginning to encounter cooler waters as well as dry air and stronger wind shear, Muifa will continue to weaken, becoming a minimal tropical storm as it makes another landfall here in Liaoning province, perhaps 150 kilometers east of Dalian city, and then weakening to a tropical depression and then dissipating there over the northeastern China. But still, those rains and strong winds and waves will continue to affect much of the areas here around the Yellow Sea and the Bohai Sea here, including North Korea, South Korea, and also Shandong Peninsula, and then, as I said, Liaoning province for the next 2 to 3 days. But again, weaker now, doesn't seem to be posing too much threat in terms of strong winds. It's the heavy rains that will probably do the most damage in terms of flooding and landslides. Now moving on to the forecast also from JTWC, again showing that same forecast, moving northward and then dissipating by the middle of next week there. Now moving on to the other top system, we have Typhoon Merbok, still a typhoon, still over Northwest Pacific and Sea in this visible image, well away from mainland Japan here. Winds have actually increased to 140, gusting to 195. So yeah, we have to change those numbers, but seems to be weakening now the past couple of hours in terms of the infrared images. Merbok is moving northward at around 10 kilometers per hour, and it should be moving north and into cooler waters, and also probably making a turn out to the northeast in the next couple of hours. But as you can see, no immediate threat to any territories or countries here. You can also show the showing you the infrared image. You can see cloud tops have warmed, and you have the convection again primarily displaced to the west, and also we still have the core here. Merbok is now encountering a wind shear of around 30 knots or so, so probably going to continue and start weakening now. It's probably reached its peak, and also the waters now are beginning to cool here around 35 and 40 degree north latitude. And as I said, the wind shear will probably weaken this to a tropical storm as early as tonight. And again, in terms of the forecast here from JMA, not a threat to any land, and you can see probably dissipating by the middle of next week as well. Here we have JTWC's forecast. They're still expecting and Merbok to maintain the typhoon intensity for at least 24 hours more, weakening to a tropical storm by Monday, and then again to a tropical depression, and then moving on to eastern Russia by late next week, actually by Thursday or Friday there, but probably starting to transition into an extratropical cyclone by that time there. Moving on to the Northwest Pacific as a whole, we're looking at the infrared image here. You can see Muifa and Merbok and huge cyclones rotating there over the northern Pacific. Also, you can see this line of showers and convective activity, this trough associated again with Merbok to the north, enhancing those shower activity, including here in Guam and Northern Mariana Islands. And also here actually have Invest 90W showing robust activity in terms of convection, but generally a linear sort of formation. We still haven't seen any sort of banding, so to speak, in terms of microwave image, although ASCAT actually picked up a shallow circulation, a very weak circulation southwest of Guam. Also pointing you to the southwest monsoon still affecting western Luzon, and also extending as far south as Visayas and northern Mindanao. Areas here including particularly the province of Zambales here in western Luzon, reporting as much as 500 millimeters of rain in the past 2 days. And we've gotten news of mudslide that destroyed as much as 80 houses there. So lots of rain that, as you heard, still has the potential to cause mudslides and flash floods as well. And Manila also will probably still experience those intermittent rain showers from time to time, and also here in North Luzon, particularly Ilocos Norte and Ilocos Sur provinces there. We're not expecting this monsoon to wane at any time soon, really lasting throughout the week. So you still have Muifa and then enhancing that activity. But in terms of tropical cyclones in particular, we have computer models actually forecasting a generally quieter week for us here in Northwest Pacific. We have this weak depression, or just a weak low pressure being depicted by the models, but not really expected to strengthen that much. It was just going to be bringing in some showers wherever it ends up. And also here we're showing also weak storm, sorry, weak LPA to form, but in terms of any strong cyclones, models are not seeing anything of that kind for the next 2 to 3 days. But as you know, the Pacific Ocean can really surprise us in terms of cyclone formation here, so we will continue watching that for you there. So that is the forecast for today, and thank you for watching. We will have another update for tomorrow, probably our final update for Muifa and Merbok as they weaken in the northern Pacific. So until then, see you guys, and stay safe.